Welcome! So, in our previous explainers, we've really dived into how AI can be this brilliant scholar, right? But today, we're going to look at what happens next. What happens when AI stops just being a thinker and actually becomes a doer?
So think about this for a second. You ask your large language model, your LLM, to help out with a big school event like Parents' Day. And, it gives you this flawless, step-by-step plan. Amazing. The problem? It's just a document. The AI can't actually book the rooms, it can't draft the specific emails to the parents or update the calendar. You still have to do all the actual work. And that gap right there, between the plan and the action, that's exactly what we're going to tackle today.
And the solution to that problem is what we call an AI agent. Now, an agent is really the evolution from just a chatbot to what you might think of as a true digital employee. It's not just the brilliant brain of an LLM, it's that brain connected to hands and feet and a full toolbox, which lets it actually execute tasks in the digital world. This is the moment where AI stops just talking and it really starts doing. To really get our heads around this shift, I think we need a better analogy. So forget thinking about AI as just a fancy search engine. Instead, let's think about the different roles inside a school. We're moving from just a source of knowledge to a source of action.
And here is where the distinction becomes crystal clear. Think of a regular LLM as being like a genius professor. They've got world-class knowledge, but they're kind of locked away in a library. An AI agent, on the other hand, is more like your senior assistant principal. They have that same brilliant brain for sure, but they're also connected to the school's calendar, the email system, the spreadsheets, everything. They don't just write the plan, they go out and execute it. The main takeaway here is really simple. We're adding the power to do to the power to think.
Okay, so we know what an agent is, but how does it actually operate? How does it do things without a human guiding every single step? Well, it all comes down to this continuous, intelligent cycle.
So instead of just giving you a one-time answer, an agent works in this constant loop. First, it perceives the goal. Okay, this is what you want me to do. Then, it plans a strategy, breaking that big task down into smaller chunks. Next, it acts. It uses its tools to take that first step. And here's the most important part. It reflects. It looks at the result of its action, learns from it, and then decides what to do next. It's this cycle of perceiving, planning, acting, and reflecting over and over again until the entire job is done.
A self-driving car is a great way to put all these pieces together. The LLM, that's the powerful engine. It's the core intelligence. Then you have the map, which is all your specific, custom knowledge. Think of it like a GPS that's been preloaded with your school's handbooks, your policies, all that stuff. It gives the AI precise context. But the agent? The agent is the driving system itself. It's the thing that takes the power from the engine and the directions from the map to actually steer the car and get you where you need to go. You really need all three parts to make the journey happen.
All right, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually mean for you? Let's talk about the real-world impact this could have and the kind of liberation it can bring to principals, administrators, and teachers.
For school leadership, just picture this. Instead of spending hours chasing down attendance sheets, you have a school operations monitor. This agent is just working in the background, automatically pulling together all the attendance data. And the moment it spots a concerning pattern with a student, it doesn't just send you a report. No, it drafts an alert email to the right teacher, and then it cross-references both of your calendars to propose a time for a follow-up meeting. It handles all that data stuff, so you can focus on the student.
And for teachers, wow, this is a real game changer. Imagine an all-in-one teaching assistant. So after a quiz, it instantly analyzes every single student's results. For the student who struggled with a concept, it automatically assigns some targeted practice problems. For the student who totally aced it, it offers a cool extension activity. And once all that work is done, it grades it and feeds the scores directly into the school's official grading system. That whole loop, assessment, differentiation, data entry, it just happens automatically.
Okay, let's get even more concrete. To see how this all really comes together, let's peek inside an agent's toolkit while it handles a simple, everyday kind of request.
So an agent comes equipped with everything it needs to be your digital assistant. It's got its intelligence, it's got its memory, and of course, its set of tools.
So what's actually inside this toolkit? Well, it starts with the brain. That's the LLM that does all the thinking. Next up is the toolbox itself, which holds all the apps it can use, things like email, a web browser, spreadsheets. And finally, there's the notebook, which is basically its memory. This is where it keeps track of your preferences and can instantly pull up key documents, like that school handbook we mentioned, to get crucial context for a task.
Now,
Let's give it a simple task. Let's say, subscribe me to that new educational seminar. The agent perceives the goal. Its first action, it uses its web browser tool to go find the seminar's registration page. Next, using its memory of your information, it just fills out the whole registration form for you. And finally, as its last step, it uses the email tool to shoot a confirmation notice over to the principal. Task complete, and you didn't have to lift a finger.
So let's end with this thought. We are really on the cusp of a world where every single educator could have a dedicated assistant that doesn't just offer suggestions, but actively helps manage the classroom, personalize learning, and handle all that admin work. Now, if that becomes a reality, what does that free you up to do? How does the core job of being a teacher evolve? That's a really powerful question to think about.